I have to give my 2 cents on this one. Have to give my 2 cents on this one. This idea that being a Christian man, means that you're a weak man, means that you're a passive man, means that you're not a dangerous man. And that's a bunch of flipping, stinking hogwash. Now, let me get rid of this. I'm going to come from a couple different angles on this one. We are under attack as a nation and as a world. Governments are wicked. And our government is wicked. And they want to manipulate you. They want to manipulate me. They want to control us. And all the propaganda and all the social media and all the fake news from everybody, Democrats, Republicans, conservatives, liberals, it's all a play. All right? It's all a manipulation. It's all a lie. Does not mean that there's not true people out there and that there's not genuine people out there and there's not genuine conservative people, caring people in our government, but as a whole, it is an agenda, and they are trying to destroy us and to control us. And two ways, and Satan is taking charge of this. Two areas they're doing this in is masculinity and Christianity. Those are the two we're going to deal with here. Masculinity is under attack. And the term they use, toxic masculinity, let me do something here real quick. What they're calling toxic masculinity in most cases is real masculinity at some level. And they're just confusing the people. Now, what true toxic masculinity is, what, without the quotes, what real toxic masculinity is this jerk, domineering type of man, bully. And that's what they're trying to promote, is that's what masculinity is today, and that's toxic. Causing the true masculinity to suffer. And I'm coming from two different angles. On this. Masculinity specifically, and Christian men and their masculinity. God made the male and female, and He made us beautifully different. He made us strategically different. And He gave us roles. Men are to look and act masculine, not effeminate. If you are an effeminate man, you need to find a way to quit being like that. If you are a soft man, always soft spoken, never willing to do any kind of confrontation, never willing to deal with hot, hard topics, you carry yourself in a more female like way. You need to stop that. It is wicked, but there is help. I know several men in this category personally, and most of it's been in situations where dad was not around. Dad left. He was raised by mom and a bunch of sisters and women, and that tends to happen more. But God made you masculine, and you got to find a way to get that back. God made man in all kinds of sizes. There are small, wee men that are small in stature. 5-foot men, even less than 5-foot men, or even, I don't care to try to water down my terms because somebody might get offended. But I'm not trying to offend, and I don't hate or dislike any group of people. But so whether the term is midget or dwarf men, okay, the stature don't matter. You can still be a man. God has made some men as big as gorillas. And some of those men think that they can handle a gorilla. Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. I don't care if you're a 400-pound dude. I don't care if you can bench 1,000 pounds. You ain't no match for a true silverback gorilla. So get that nonsense out of your head. You ain't no match for a 250-pound kangaroo. But you're a big man. Okay, this has got nothing to do with size. It's got nothing to do with stature. It's got to do with being truly masculine in the qualities God has given you as a man. And I'll just say this, long hair is a feminine quality. Alright, that's just a biblical definition of it. God has made men to have short hair. And a couple examples, Jesus never had long hair. You have no historical, no reference, no biblical reference, none of that. That is a man-made conclusion. And all these portraits you see of Jesus as a long-haired, effeminate-looking man, that's part of the agenda. But God teaches that short hair on men, long hair on women. That's a side note. But you look and act like a masculine man. You may be a big man, you may be a small man, it does not matter. This is not about putting on muscle. It is not about muscle definition. It is not about being a triathlete or a bodybuilder. That is not what makes you masculine. But you ought to be dangerous. Listen, if you are a string pull, you need to try to build some muscle. That's just one of the trials in life that you have to work with. Okay, if you're a man that really suffers intellectually, you think, or educationally, you think, then you need to hone those skills and be a smart, common sense type of guy. There's all kinds of things we all have to work on. Okay? I myself, I got out of shape and I got overweight. And I had to get my body in shape. So you need to look dangerous. You need to be dangerous. You need to be the type of guy that is kind, kind-hearted. You're a servant to people. People love to be around you. You make people feel good and comfortable, but they also know, don't mess with him. Don't mess with his wife and kids. Predators looking around at your kids. I reference this a lot because a pedophile mentioned it in an interview. He didn't look at the kids or the mom, he looked at dad. When he was stalking a family looking for kids to hurt, he looked at the dad, and if the dad looked dangerous, he left him alone. So yeah, you have to be in shape a little bit. So yeah, there's simple exercise techniques, there's simple diet techniques that will help you be a somewhat capable and fit man. But I forgot to mention why I'm doing this. Because that pastor, this week, beat the crap out of that man that threatened to rape and kill his family. So that's where this video's coming from. The other angle I'm coming from is I'm sick and tired. I've grown up an independent Baptist, and I'm saying over half, if not more, of the men behind the pulpits are nothing but a bunch of gluttons. And just because you have a fast metabolism and you don't put on weight doesn't mean you're not a glutton. So keep that in mind. But over half the men behind pulpits today that I've grown up with, listen, I'm going to go ahead and say 80%. They're grossly overweight. It is not an exaggeration for me to say a lot of these guys are 300-pound gluttons, 250-pound gluttons behind pulpits. And they don't have any power with God, and they don't have any teaching talent. And then I don't care if you are a man of God, that you do walk with God, and that you do have power with Him. If you're a fat, overweight, lazy, out-of-shape man, you are wrong. We can talk about all the power that C.H. Spurgeon had, and he did, and God used him greatly. I got no doubt about it. You can talk about all the power that D.L. Moody had, and I believe he had it. But they were still wrong in being overweight men. All right? So this idea that Christians and Christian men are to be passive and non-aggressive is a lie from the devil. And I praise this man for walking across the street and beating the crap out of that dude. What else was I going to say? Oh, man. There was something else, but my old man is kicking in. Masculinity and Christianity, yes. And so the world, the devil, is trying to destroy what it means to be a Christian. And they're faking what Jesus was. Jesus was a man's man. And I know a lot of people reference him going into the temple and turning over the tables and running people out, and he did. And that was not a sissy act. That was a manly act done out of anger. Be ye angry and sin not. And the stuff that he went through and did, and as a carpenter, he was a working, physically able man. And he took on the weight of the world and the sin of the world. So Christianity is not passive. It's not sissy. It's masculine. We can be challenged and we can stand. And history is full of able, strong, capable, masculine men. That has been the norm of Christianity through the years. Just because we live in a day and age where all that is being attacked and feminized and women are being butched up, that's not God's way. and it's not how we are naturally. So we need to be men, masculine men, Christian men, healthy men, physical men, able men, dangerous men, loving men, kind men, servant men. We need to be the quiet servant warrior. Keep your eyes on him.